Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Ever heard someone has a cat with 9 lives? No, we're not in a pet shop. Let's talk about Emily, a character who seems to dodge trouble with the agility of a cat. Whether it's narrowly missing a falling tree branch or avoiding a major mishap on a road trip, Emily embodies this idiom perfectly. The expression, a cat with 9 lives, captures the essence of someone who, against all odds, repeatedly escapes danger. So like Emily, if you keep bouncing back from tough spots, you just might be a cat with 9 lives. Imagine walking into a room full of strangers. Awkward, right? Let's break the ice. Picture this. Emily, a vibrant young professional, steps into a bustling networking event. The room buzzes with potential connections, yet the air is thick with hesitation. Emily, sensing the need to lighten the mood, decides to share an amusing anecdote from her recent travels. With a bright smile, she recounts the time she accidentally mistook a celebrity for a waiter during a high-profile gala. Her story, sprinkled with light-hearted self-deprecation, draws chuckles and sympathetic nods from the group. The atmosphere shifts. What was once a room of cautious glances becomes a circle of animated faces, eager to share their own quirky tales. This simple act of sharing a funny, relatable experience does more than just entertain. It knits strangers together, easing tensions and paving the way for open, genuine conversations. This is the power of breaking the ice. Remember, a good joke or interesting story can always break the ice. Ever said something that was exactly right? Well, you just hit the nail on the head. Let's delve into a scenario to illustrate this idiom perfectly. Imagine Emily, a diligent marketing coordinator, sitting in a crucial meeting. Her boss, puzzled by the recent dip in engagement on their latest campaign, throws a question into the room. What do we think is causing our numbers to fall? Without missing a beat, Emily responds, I believe it's due to the lack of personalization in our outreach. Recent feedback suggests customers feel our messages are too generic. Her boss nods appreciatively, and the room bursts into a series of nods and murmurs of agreement. Emily's precise and fitting response was just what was needed. This idiom, hit the nail on the head, is used to describe a comment or an idea that is exactly right or perfectly accurate. It's like striking a nail with a single hammer blow and driving it in cleanly, efficiently. So next time your point is spot on, you've hit the nail on the head. When everyone started buying smartphones, did you get one too? Looks like you jumped on the bandwagon. Let's talk about the idiom jump on the bandwagon. Picture this. Emily notices that all her friends are updating their statuses, sharing photos, and connecting on social media. Initially hesitant, she finally decides to create her own social media profiles. Why? Simply because everyone else is doing it, and she doesn't want to feel left out. This phrase originated in the late 19th century during political campaigns in the United States. Politicians would parade through towns with a bandwagon filled with music and festivity, hoping to draw a crowd. As the bandwagon passed by, more and more supporters would literally jump on to show their support, making it a popular spectacle. Today, jumping on the bandwagon refers to joining a popular trend or activity, just like Emily did with social media. It's a way of aligning with the majority, often driven by the fear of missing out. It's okay to jump on the bandwagon sometimes, especially if it's a ride to something great. Ever decided to not bring up an old argument? Then you chose to let sleeping dogs lie. Imagine Emily, who had a falling out with her friend Sarah over plans that went awry years ago. They patched things up superficially, but the issue was never fully resolved. Recently, they found themselves reminiscing about old times, and the topic was on the brink of resurfacing. Emily paused, a thought crossed her mind. Should she reopen that old wound or move forward? In this moment, Emily decided to bite her tongue. She realized that dredging up the past could only harm their relationship, which had otherwise healed over time. By choosing silence over conflict, Emily exemplified what it means to let sleeping dogs lie. This idiom encapsulates the wisdom of not restarting disputes, because sometimes peace is more valuable than proving a point. In everyday life, we face similar choices. We weigh the consequences of our words, and often, maintaining peace requires that we avoid stirring old conflicts. Sometimes, it's wise to let sleeping dogs lie for harmony's sake. Scene script. Oops, did you just reveal a secret? You might have spilled the beans. Picture this. Emily has been buzzing with excitement all week, planning a surprise birthday party for her best friend, Sarah. Everything was going perfectly, decorations hidden away, cake ordered, and guests sworn to secrecy. However, excitement can sometimes be a double-edged sword. 2 days before the big event, Emily and Sarah were chatting over coffee. Amidst the conversation, Sarah mentioned feeling a bit down about her upcoming birthday, thinking everyone had forgotten. Without missing a beat, Emily blurted out, "Don't be silly, you're going to love your surprise party." The moment the words escaped her lips, Emily's heart sank. She had just spilled the beans. The idiom "spill the beans" is used when someone reveals secret information, often without intending to. It's like letting the cat out of the bag, another idiom for unveiling a secret. These expressions paint a vivid picture of secrets tumbling out uncontrollably. Be careful, or you might spill the beans when you least intend to. When Emily prepares for a party, she goes the whole 9 yards. Imagine Emily, a meticulous planner who loves hosting. Weeks before the event, she's already crafting invitations, each tailored to match the theme of the party. She pores over recipes, ensuring a perfect blend of flavors that will cater to all her guests' tastes. Decorations? Emily visits several stores, picking out just the right items to transform her space into a festive wonderland. On the day of the party, Emily is in her element. She arranges the furniture to create cozy conversational nooks, sets up a playlist that subtly shifts to match the evening's evolving mood, and even plans games that everyone would enjoy. As guests arrive, they're greeted by a cascade of thoughtful touches, from custom cocktails to hand-picked party favors. This, in essence, is what it means to go the whole 9 yards. It's about committing wholeheartedly to a task, sparing no effort or resource to achieve the desired outcome. Whatever you do, giving it the whole 9 yards can make a big difference. Now that you've met Emily and her adventures, let's wrap up what we've learned about idioms. Idioms, those quirky expressions whose meanings aren't immediately obvious, play a pivotal role in mastering the English language. Throughout our journey, we have uncovered a treasure trove of these colorful phrases. From a cat with 9 lives, symbolizing remarkable survival, to letting sleeping dogs lie, which advises against stirring up old problems. Each idiom we've explored adds a layer of richness to communication. Consider breaking the ice, a phrase so commonly used in social settings to describe initiating conversation in a tense or awkward environment, or hitting the nail on the head, which perfectly captures the essence of doing something with exactness or precision. Then, there's jumping on the bandwagon, a vivid illustration of joining a growing movement just as it's gaining popularity. These expressions aren't just linguistic decorations, they serve as bridges, connecting our words to deeper meanings and shared cultural understandings. They allow speakers to convey subtleties and nuances that might otherwise require a plethora of words. Incorporating idioms into your everyday language isn't just about memorization, it's about understanding the context in which these phrases flourish and using them to enhance your communication. To truly grasp their usage, immerse yourself in English media, read widely, listen carefully, and engage in conversations with native speakers. This exposure will cement idioms in your mind and help you deploy them with confidence. Master these idioms, and you're on your way to speaking English with more color and precision. Dive into the nuances of language and enjoy the journey.
Let's learn new words and practice English at level B2. Idiom. Idiom, a phrase or a fixed expression that has a figurative, or sometimes literal, meaning. Example, the idiom "break a leg" is used to wish someone good luck, especially before a performance. Figurative language. Figurative language, language that uses words or expressions with a meaning that is different from the literal interpretation. Example, idioms are a type of figurative language that enriches the language by conveying nuances and cultural expressions. Literal. Literal, taking words in their usual or most basic sense without metaphor or exaggeration. Example, unlike idiomatic expressions, literal language means exactly what it says. Catch on. Catch on to understand, especially after a period of time. This idiom is often used to describe gaining an understanding of something complex or unfamiliar. Example, it took me a while to catch on to the rules of cricket. Piece of cake. Piece of cake, something that is very easy to do. Example, after all my practice, solving these math problems is a piece of cake. Under the weather. Under the weather, feeling ill or unwell. Example, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so I might stay home and rest.